Hey, okay, apparently we're live.
Hey!
I don't know, this is the internet, and that's how things work.
Which camera are we?
I don't know, we have multiple, so at some point we might even switch cameras and all that kind of thing. But hello, if you're joining us, we have this crazy shadow because I put a light there.
It's good, I like it.
I love it. We're doing a spontaneous podcast to talk about WWDC. I feel like we just spent 2 hours arguing and asleep on the couch.
Actually.
Yeah, I can hear myself.
Yeah,
I just
okay,
muted it.
perfect.
So I feel like we just spent 2 hours being assaulted with whatever Apple's new thing was this year, and I guess the idea of this, I'm just turning the light down ever so slightly with this thing because it's blinding me. It was long. I feel like I just watched a very long series of things. I don't know. So
this thematic though, because the last event, the education event, I felt was very long. We weren't the audience for it, so that's different. And then,
apparently they can't see video. That's cool.
Well, hold on.
Hey, I did it! I just had to push a button. I'm sorry.
Can you see us now?
They'll hear us. It's just got on a delay.
Okay.
Well, that was very exciting because it was behind an image.
The education event was not. We were not the audience for that, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Well, I do education for work, so maybe I was a little bit of the audience, but it was mostly schools,
right.
K through 12 or whatever your country calls it, and
I have no idea actually because this is not my country.
No, I know. So in the previous event before that, the hardware event was also a little bit lackluster.
I got people in chat, by the way.
Woo!
So,
hey, chat people.
They can see video now.
Yes.
That's good.
Thanks, Adam.
Yeah. So
David. Thank you.
What you were saying about feedback? Sorry, not feedback. Goodness. Let's just pretend like none of this happened.
Okay. So the past couple events have been a little bit too long.
Yep.
Including this one.
Yep.
The Google event also was too long.
It was 3 hours. I'll tell you why.
It was awful.
I was sitting in a plastic chair at the Google event, very thirsty.
Oh,
God. It was terrible.
All these events are running long.
Yeah.
I think we're in the sunset of these large tech events. No one even watched F8 that I know. I mean, it's really. I think we're at the tail end of these. Let's do a big keynote and live stream it to the world.
Right.
So this one was long, and I have this feeling that I've never had after an Apple event before.
What's that?
I don't want to run and install the beta.
Oh, yeah.
I've got
That's a really
an
interesting
iPad
point.
and an iMac, and I want to...
Right.
I always, every year, have always wanted the latest beta build on all of my stuff, even though I know it's going to break everything.
Right. And me too.
I've always,
You're immediately downloading it. I had an app for this.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear of this app called Down Them All? You could get it faster.
I never had that. But every year, every event, every beta, I've always wanted it.
Right.
And this,
we have this fancy overlay view. Let's cut to the video. Look, I've planned everything here.
Hopefully it's not broadcasting that audio.
No, it'll be broadcasting.
Why don't you mute the YouTube video just in case?
Yeah, well, it is muted.
Oh, it's just muted here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so I love that this actually works. It's amazing. Except for this weird. Just ignore the weird stuff. But so even looking at this screen, it just blows my mind. I was thinking about it. It was as soon as I saw that, I was cool. Apple's going to go through the tentpole features of iOS. Right. I was stocks is a tentpole.
They talked about stocks a lot.
So many times.
On desktop. It's now on desktop. It's now on iPad.
Yeah.
I guess the most interesting thing, the reason they brought up with desktop is because of the new UI framework, or UI kit from iOS is on Mac now.
Right. Yeah. Okay, they can't hear that.
Great.
Yeah, that's great. But that's the thing. So, I took away from that was here are one good things. Here's my take on
Do you see Fem in the chat?
Where? In the chat?
She said I should have tagged you my desk.
Oh, yeah. This is Fem's desk, everybody, with most of my junk on it.
It's not Fem's junk.
I love it.
Just for clarity.
Hide her tax forms. It's so organized. But let's really talk about this for a second.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I have my
list. My biggest take is this. So first, iOS went first. That never happens.
Okay.
iOS never goes first.
Wait. First, they had that really gross video.
Okay, actually, not even before that. They talked for 20 minutes, they always do, slagging off that one company that they won't name.
I took notes. Here's the
Zach
highlights.
He's
highlights.
He's organized. Okay, I'm going to switch back to just us.
The App Store is 10 years old.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Time passes.
Yeah. Okay.
500 million weekly visitors.
Amazing.
Now, that is a big number, but I am curious if that's like updates has a problem updating and people go like I don't. We won't get into the technicals of how they do metrics.
Yeah, like that will just break your mind.
And then they said $100 billion to developers. Now, everybody remembers that every dollar a developer makes, 30 cents goes to
so
Apple.
30% more. They made 30 billion.
They did make that adjustable. Do you remember at some point? Much like iTunes has a sliding scale.
Mm-hmm.
But still, they make about 30%.
Right.
So that means what, like 140 billion dollars.
Bajillion dollars.
So Apple's made a shit ton
Bajillions
of money on
dollars.
the App Store.
Yep.
And then they said Swift Playgrounds is the best way to learn how to code, which I think is really cool.
I mean, yeah, it's great. Except just like put Xcode also. Like
I want Xcode on my iPad.
Well, it's true. It's like the greatest way to learn to code on your PC that's not a PC, except you can't code on your PC, Mac. Your iPad. Like, it's crazy.
So we were talking about this with Fem. What they need to do, and I think everybody's probably on the same page here, is now that there's a cellular Apple Watch, that needs to be unbound from the iPhone. Like, I need to be able to go to the store and buy an Apple Watch. And they need to do, like, the iPad is sold as that. Like, you buy an iPad. You don't need a Mac if you have an iPad. But, like, we're getting into, like, they're like, oh, learn how to code on your iPad. And then you need a Mac. And then I mean, like, I guess it's a genius upsell on them, but like, it'd be awesome if Xcode was there. It would be awesome. You know, like, let's move past. Like, if they're not gonna focus on the Mac, which clearly they showed us today, they really don't care. Like, let's move. Let's move on.
My favorite thing. Okay, so here's the thing. By the way, we have a second camera angle. We have to use it at least once. I'm gonna push it. Boom! It moved 30 degrees.
What's up? I think the lighting
was
better though. On it
it's all right. It's all right. Let's just go with it. But this is clearly a high fidelity production. But that's the point. Like, that's the point. We're here to hang out. Okay. Actually, I actually want to just quickly ask. You're in, like, all of you on YouTube. Like, please tell us if there's something that you thought was awesome. I'd love to know if, like, I don't know, if there was something that blew your mind. I'll tell you what I hated and what I loved, but I want to know what other people thought, because obviously I'm just like this guy who switched to Windows.
Right.
But I will say there's two things that really stood out to me. With at least.
I
have a Mac Mini down here.
I
have a Mac Mini that's just down here.
Yeah.
No, but the biggest thing I noticed was, like, the Mac OS demo was... Okay, so the whole thing actually was Apple unveiling features that they should have unveiled a long time ago. And I mentioned this to you like halfway through. It was like, if they just shipped a point release and said, like, oh, well, we finally, like, added this stuff, it would have been just as exciting. Why do we have to wait until September for this? Right?
So the UI kit stuff, that's like a developer feature.
Yeah.
App Store, their target audience is developers.
Yeah.
Like, these are things you release. Even AR kit, which I was like, you know, we were talking about, like, oh, they made a measuring thing with your phone camera, so clearly people are going to use it for their genitals. Like,
exactly. Apple will get rid of it at some point.
If you can switch to the video real quick.
Okay, I'm going to go there. Hold on. We're so ahead of the curve here. Here it is. So we're coming.
If ever the measure UI here, I mean, like,
literally the most amazing timing.
Oh God, I just am not a fan.
Yeah, I wasn't into it either. I mean, like, this they just Sherlocked like a whole app category.
Yeah,
with this,
they did,
which is ironic, really, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
it was strange, but let's go back to what matters here. So everything Apple demoed was like banal shit. Like, I don't mean that in a mean way, but, like, it was all banal. Like, I literally just tuned out after WatchOS because he got up there, he's like, dark mode. I'm like, yes, finally, the thing everybody wanted when they added that switch 2 years ago that was like dark mode, and it only did the top bar.
Yeah, it did the top bar in the dock.
Great.
Which is great.
So they did that.
And Spotlight Search.
Oh, yeah. But then he launches into this demo of, like, him rotating photos in Finder and cleaning his desktop. And I'm like, are you serious? And like, the only reason I hate banging on this drum, because everyone's like, oh, Windows Zealot, is like Microsoft. Meanwhile, and I really feel like that guy. Every time I'm like, but Microsoft did this, they're like, I'm like, fanboy, in my back of my mind.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fanboy. By the way, we're going to go to the comments in a minute. Frederica says she loves measuring things. By the way, Frederica is not here because she's on holiday, but she's tuning into us making fools of ourselves.
Oh my God.
So it's great. But no, so like, Microsoft, meanwhile, shipped in the next version of Windows 10, they're building, you can combine a window with another window. So, like, if you've got Discord and you want to smush it with Firefox, you could. Like, why not? And smush in Sonos.
Well, let's take a step back. Yes, Microsoft released those features. Now Apple is.
Apple released
different
shitty things.
Organizational features. It's because average people, like most people, just like want their computer to help them do shit a little bit easier. But it's not developer conference material.
That's exactly what I wanted to get to.
This is just a point release.
I think Microsoft is ahead of everybody else here because what they've done is they used to have this thing that would be like Windows 7, Windows Vista, Windows 10. I don't know how that works, but anyway. But the whole way that they used to do it is like this big monolithic thing every 3 years. And now they're like, no, Windows is a service. And you're like, what? And they're like, yeah, it's a service. And so you actually get updates just all the time.
Yeah,
like, I got an update one time and it had Netflix. I was like, cool. It's a very different approach where they're like, hey, by the way, today we added this thing.
So I work at a software company. I've worked in software companies before.
Amazing.
What you do is you release stuff all the time.
Right.
A lot of the times it's little features and bug improvements.
Yeah.
And every once in a while you make a big announcement and you do here's all this stuff that we released recently.
Right.
Or even an email blast, or in Apple's case they could do a push notification, which everyone would hate, but like it would be better than the little thing that pops up asking for updates all the time.
Right.
And these boring conferences that
it's
used
just
to be exciting.
It's not necessary anymore. That seems to be like my takeaway from today is like why are we still doing this? And like I don't know if there's any demonstration that was maybe like the perfect thing to show this off. I think it was like it was the iOS one. It was like I'm trying to think of what the icons were, but same with the Mac one, by the way. Oh no, my favorite was the Apple TV.
No,
they talked for like 10 minutes straight about a screensaver. That was the best part of the whole thing.
That was we have a
screensaver and we have text on top of a screensaver. Those are the features this year, everybody. Features.
I cannot believe they announced that and spent time on it. Okay, so all the new iOS stuff. So they did shortcuts. Mm-hmm. They did Siri suggestions.
Yep.
They did what else was? Oh, they did the Memojis, which I think is
I thought that was amazing.
Sick.
It was it's Bitmoji.
They did Bitmoji, but they topped Bitmoji.
Yeah, right.
Like the motion cap stuff happening live.
Oh, it's amazing.
It was really impressive.
I just love that. Like, there's some bit of irony that Samsung did this really shitty. I don't know if you remember this. Samsung did this shitty knockoff of Animoji, and it was like of people's faces. Yeah. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's so gross," and then Apple did it. What?
Yeah,
but it was impressive. I mean,
Korean app where it would scan your face and put it on like 3-dimensional characters, and it would do dances.
Right.
That game was great.
Right.
Okay, so I took some notes.
Okay.
Do you want to hear
You're
all
so more
of them?
organized than I am.
We can talk about like each thing.
I'm gonna like let you do your notes. I'm gonna go on the YouTube video and freeze frame on that one bit with the icons, so I can like be angry about it.
So we started with, and this is someone in Discord said this, so thank you, and then Owen tweeted it.
Oh, yeah.
Is why were they didn't have kids demoing the
Lego thing. The Lego thing was just like a bunch of grown men playing with not actual Legos.
I mean, like, so last year they had the Pokemon Go demo, and I think it generated a ton of buzz.
Yeah.
So this year they were like, we need to do this again.
Right.
We're trying to push AR. What do we do? And Lego is down, they like made a ton of money on those movies.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same with Nintendo as well. Like all these guys made a lot of money with these apps that they ported. Yeah, nostalgia sells.
But so AR I don't think is the future, and also
it's cute.
You're not gonna hold an iPad for more than 10 minutes. Like it sucks. Like the people that use iPads for cameras don't hold them up for video because even though they're light, it sucks. Like it's not a great experience. So I don't know where this is going.
Yeah.
But bringing gaming to... I don't know. I don't know where that's going.
Yeah, I didn't feel it either. Like, yeah, it was mostly... look, the thing that I took away from that demo, like, AR cute is really cool. Google showed off something, and I hate to, again, compare, but it is... And by the way, I thought this whole thing was, like, one-to-one, basically everything Google showed off at I.O., but, like, half-baked. And even Google stuff was half-baked. But like Google showed off the ARKit stuff that they've been working on, and they had the pin thing. So like when you do a room, your phone then understands the room again next time. So you can leave objects in AR and then they'll be there in
that's
the future.
cool.
And then they also have multiplayer via the cloud, so you could do AR across different boundaries as well. And it was so like this really interesting.
What happens when you leave something in AR and then you die, and then your
so
relatives
sad.
find it?
Is there like a contacts? Oh, that's really like I don't know.
This is if 13 Reasons Why came out in 10 years.
Black Mirror 13 Reasons Why edition.
Okay.
We're gonna make that show
and pitch
John
it.
and see if he's gonna be like up for a call.
Yeah, I'll keep talking. Okay, so they redid the Photos app again, another redesign, and they're introducing machine learning to help you better do photos. This is just like what Google announced for the Photos app. However, they took a big dig at Google, and they did it twice during this, where they said, it's not going to upload anywhere, we're not going to comb through your data.
Right.
So Owen's take is, now every new device you have, you have to wait for it to process your photos again. Yeah. However, they're really trying to take a stance on being the company of privacy because Facebook and Google fucked up so much.
Yeah, I think so. Well, they have to double down on it.
It's what they've got.
They have to go in on it because it's the biggest. So, but Apple has the luxury of it. That's the really fascinating thing. Is like I really admire the privacy stance, and that's something that I personally like struggle with, like going to a different platform. But then again, like the only reason that Apple is suddenly going in on this so hard is it has the money and it doesn't have the services, and it's very convenient for them. I promise you, the moment the cash cow disappears, they're not going to bang that drum so hard because they're going to have to monetize. It's like it's very convenient, and I really like they showed at the end the Safari thing where you can't it'll block social sharing. Love that. You could just install an ad blocker, but fine, whatever.
But most people don't install ad blockers,
and that's like the interesting reality. But we had a few interesting comments in here. I wanna like bring up a few. I use an AR app for measuring my curtains. Yeah, that's cool. I wish there was a good Apple one, but let's be honest though. Does it need to be an Apple app? It's like the Compass app on your phone is there sometimes, I guess. It's kind of cool. My argument is this adding value? Like, what, like, cool, I have a measuring app. What do you hope to get out of your phone? And in my opinion, what we saw, the very clear difference between the I.O. and WWDC keynotes was a focus on, like, how can we make your phone do stuff smarter so that you don't have to do dumb shit. And a good example of this is like assisted brightness, which they unveiled. It's like this machine learning thing, and it's ironic because...
that should have been released years ago too.
Yeah, right. And so like the way it works on an iPhone right now is like you drag the brightness slider this one time and it goes and it's fine. And then tomorrow when you drag it and it's sunny again, it just like didn't know. Like you have to drag it every time because it doesn't know. And Google was like, okay, well this guy is obviously like dragging his brightness every day. So like the computer will learn not to adjust it to automatically adjust it because he's always going to be turning it up. And Apple, on the other side of things, was more unveiling like, we have a ruler app, we have this. And I think like the clear differentiation here is like Google is kind of very focused on getting it out of the way for you and making it a tool that's just like doing a job. And Apple was like, we have stocks. We have what I missed.
But so what Apple's trying to do is, I saw a presentation by Fem at Uber about designing for people all over the world.
Yeah.
And it's really hard because everyone has different design needs, right? Like, when your audience gets that large, you have to, like, really expand what your product does.
Right.
And what Apple's doing at this point is just, like, they're like, okay, there's a group of people that we want them to be dependent on the iPhone, to be like, this is my must-have device.
Right.
So, like, maybe I'm a realtor.
Yeah.
And every house I go into, I need to measure the rooms. Mm-hmm. Oh, great. And this is an app. This is my phone. I depend on it for my job now.
Yeah.
And they want to convert as many different types of people to that.
Right. That makes
sense.
And so,
like, the measurement app, they probably shouldn't show it off at their developer conference.
Yeah, right.
Because other than showing off their new AR tech, it's not something most people will use.
Right. And that's what
they're trying to lock in more groups of people to be, this is the thing that I need in my life.
Right, right.
Rather than, like, it's what sells phones, because they're past that. Like, we're, like you talked about, like, post-phone. Like, there's no way that they're going to, like, I don't know, increase market share by huge percentages anymore.
That's maybe where it's interesting, right? So I'm just going to switch back from this, like, crazy video that I'm apparently showing. I love it. I've got like this fancy control center that nobody can see. It's a little jerky on my screen. I hope it's not too bad. It says it's 60 FPS. Somebody said it before.
No, it's jerky.
Oh, that's a shame. Well, sorry. Oh yeah, look, it's like
Oh, Justin in the chat has a really good point. 5 gigs of iCloud storage and 32 gigs of device storage for 4K video.
That's Apple's strategy for the software and services business.
But it's garbage.
Yeah, it is garbage. I think the biggest issue, I think it's this thing. I have to change this to 60 frames a second, and then we won't suffer. Just bear with me for 1 second.
Just for everybody to know, when we started doing this, Owen was still downloading things.
Oh yeah, this whole time I've been downloading things. What are you talking about? I think we should go to this one. This one's obviously better.
That's better. Is that better in the chat, everybody?
Yeah. We're still getting better at this. We got so the setup, I'll tell you how it is. We got 2 4K webcams, but it's on a delay, so it's
okay. Weird. So
see, this one's great. Look, you can see.
They can't see video.
Oh no, you can definitely.
Oh, okay.
It would have just been this is great.
We're fantastic.
Okay, we talked about video for a while.
Okay,
but okay. Can I have a take?
You have a take. I have a list of takes. So please go.
I don't know. I don't mean this in a mean way. I thought it was really interesting. So I thought the time well spent thing was really cool.
Yes.
But a worse approximation of what we saw at I.O., arguably, because, it seemed like it was kind of shoved into that widget thing. It seemed like a lot of what Apple had done was, add a lot of useful things that I kind of perceived to be, the way that they always have, and, they get shoved under a rug somewhere. That seemed like what it was like. And I genuinely think that iOS, finally, we've got great notifications. Yeah. That's awesome. We got this great time well spent thing. We got this, I won't even bring up workflow mode thing. That was
it was like Automator or IFT, but just it seemed arduous,
convoluted.
I think it'll take some time. It'll maybe next year it'll be good.
I was sharing in the Discord while we were talking. There was this amazing one that nobody knows about on Google Home, because this is always how it goes, where you can just type in what you want and then just tick boxes. And Apple's one was this gluing a whole thing. And so I think on the iOS sides, I saw nothing interesting. To me, very few. The biggest thing that I saw that was interesting today, somebody asked, what are you excited about? I think the UI framework sharing that they showed off. So, they have this new thing. It's been rumored, I can't remember the name. I keep thinking it's Andromeda, but it's Marzipan. And this project where they've built something that, it's a framework that lets you build interfaces for iOS apps that also work on Mac apps. So the whole idea is you can build your front end and then wire up the rest later. So I don't know, I think that's the coolest thing, and that is what a developer conference is. But usually there's a flagship thing that you're I need to install this. And if it's notification grouping, I think that's a bad year.
Or dark mode?
Yeah, that's crazy.
And can we go back real quick to the time well spent?
Yeah.
If Apple was serious about it, and Google has an opportunity, but not as big as Apple has, it would have been on macOS 2.
Yeah.
It would have been on watchOS.
Right.
It was we did this on iOS because it's on Android now. And I just think there's this opportunity that only Apple has, honestly. Google could do it within Chrome.
Well, it seems dubious at best from Google as well. It's we talked about this previously. We're saying the problem with Google doing it is it seems disingenuous, even if they've done it really well in a way that they can't fuck with it.
But they want you to spend time on YouTube.
Yeah, well,
that's just
the funny thing
works.
is the way that Apple makes money is if you buy apps and you use them because there's an app.
No, that's not how they make money though.
No, they do though if you use apps. If you use apps.
Yeah, but the average person downloads 0 apps.
Okay, but the average person, if you look at the top 10 apps, they're all apps with a shit ton of in-app purchases, which is the
Facebook
problem.
and WhatsApp also.
Oh my god! Oh, so many
Instagram.
digs at Facebook. That was.
But
the best.
I'm just saying Apple makes money on the phones, so if you buy the phone, they don't care if you spend time on it or not.
Well, yeah.
Versus Google, they don't make money on the phones, they want you to use their services. And so Apple had the chance to really do time well spent bigger than Google, and they could have brought it to desktop.
Right.
And been you've been on this tab in Safari, and you've been using this app, and
Yeah. I'm just messaging John to see if he's still alive. Okay, so, the TLDR of the event for me was they unveiled a lot of stuff that I think it was very clear for me that they don't need to do monolithic releases. They should. There's a lot of this that we saw could have been iOS 11.5, 11.6, 11.7.
Absolutely.
I got people trolling me on Twitter saying, yeah, but then it'll be buggier. No, it won't. AirPlay 2 just shipped a week ago when they announced it at WWDC. It went great.
Right.
And so, the biggest issue that like I love that everybody in here is talking about cacti. By the way, I've just been like watching it and trying not to like lose my shit. Like Adam's asking for cacti tips.
Frederick and I will talk about cacti when you're not.
Yeah,
here.
Exactly. The cacti cast. And so look, the biggest takeaway for me was, and we're going to get John on here, and he's going to be like the guy who's singing his praises. I'm going to try and call him.
Wait, I have to get through my takes before he gets
in. Be quick.
Okay.
Go long.
Parental controls are awful for children, and they introduced a bunch of them.
Yep.
I think if I was a child today, it would suck.
I went on the whole internet. Use that judgment as you will.
There was more women represented on the stage, predominantly white women, but more than Apple has ever had. So, like, that was definitely, like, a win for this conference.
It tells you a lot about WWDC if cacti is trending. It's true. This chat is much more interesting than WWDC was.
They introduced group video calls, which is not a new thing in any means.
Yeah, right.
As we're about to prove by having John join.
Yeah, right. Interesting.
They added walkie-talkie to the phone, or to the watch.
Yeah.
Which is cool for kids.
Love that.
Again, cool for kids.
Much.
But they just introduced 2 minutes before features to spend less time on your phone.
I know, that was the best. And it was all notification based.
And it was just like, walkie-talkies just notifications with sound in them. So, I don't know, like the Nextel, do you remember the Nextel phones?
Oh, yeah, man.
That were walkie-talkies?
We had push to talk.
Fuck, everyone hated people being near people with those walkie-talkies on the train or the bus.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know, but it's so cool. It was cool. I like the idea.
No,
I like the idea of it with people because I don't have to call them.
The old IT director at Square, Mike, he at one point had iPod Touches with a walkie-talkie app on it.
Yeah.
And they would use them around the office because everyone was on Wi-Fi, so you would use an iPod Touch.
Oh, that's cool.
And that was cool. That was like a cool
So they used to
instance.
have a mobile network level feature called Push to Talk, and you had to pay extra for this thing. It was $10 a month to not call people.
That was the whole like Nextel wireless thing.
Okay, I'm gonna call John so he can inject his take.
Okay.
Can we come back to it?
Yep.
I'm gonna put him on speaker. We're doing it live, YOLO. I mean,
they released the podcast app on Watch, which is great for us because we have a podcast.
Let's see if this works. John, are you there?
Am I a computer?
You are a computer. You're on my phone, and everybody's going to be like, "It's so tinny."
Can anyone hear John?
Everybody in the chat is talking about cacti, John. But I would love if you could. First of all, miss you. Second of all, how do you feel about this event? I'm just going to hold him so that nobody has to look at me.
Frederica says
are you alive?
People walkie-talkie to
He disappeared
all the time.
He disappeared. Oh.
It broke.
Oh, it broke. Oh, look, here he is. I'm going to show the webcam. He's alive. Okay, so I'm just going to hold him.
Are you
tell us what your take is. I'll FaceTime you as well. Tell us what your take is for the crowd. I'm like, this is the situation.
Hello, everyone.
We've missed you. We're here for the hot take with John. So please tell us how you felt about this thing. We were just moaning, so maybe you've got a good take.
WWDC dark mode.
That was my review too.
His take was dark mode.
Like the biggest takeaway was dark mode.
So my take about dark mode is like, it's awesome. I'll use it, but that's not an announcement.
Oh, it's this webcam apparently. I didn't even know. Right? Yeah, dark mode. Dark mode is a point release. Let's be honest, John. Like it could be 10.11.12.
Well, I think that the biggest thing that Apple's doing right now, which is really smart, is that they're setting themselves up well for.
Oh, he died.
Okay.
Oh, you're back. Okay, you're setting yourself up for what?
I can barely hear John.
Yeah,
so.
me too. No, he's dead again. Oh no, your internet sucks.
Hear me now?
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna try once more. What are they?
I turned my Wi-Fi off.
Okay, what are they setting themselves up for, John?
I think they're setting themselves up well for the future of apps. I mean, I think that.
Yes, I agree.
It's John Gruber.
Best job of, like even the little like stupid ruler app or whatever that just measures things is enough to inspire like an 18 or 19-year-old right now who's thinking, oh, I should probably learn Swift and stuff.
Yeah,
like
that's
that,
true.
To go out and be like, oh, I'm gonna go try and mess around with this.
They should
I have an iPhone anyway. I want to be an app developer.
But that's my favorite part. Is like go and build the ruler app, then Apple will just do it.
Right, they're gonna Sherlock an 18-year-old.
They have to build one. It's like,
Yeah.
it's hard being a platform provider and setting yourselves up to be a platform provider.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you have to inspire people to think about the types of apps that are going to be built on top of it. And I do think that, and I knew I was going to get railed on for this one.
Oh, I love it.
So I went and looked it up. But I do think that ARKit and AR Core, ARKit is a considerably better, easier to use. Machine learning and augmented reality ecosystem.
Well, yeah, because you don't have to learn the cloud thing. That's the big thing with Apple's one, I think.
Their machine learning TensorFlow, or their machine learning modeling for their modeling system for machine learning for taking all of that data and building the model and whatever is very good. Like,
yeah,
it's well put together. I think I think that they are setting themselves up better than Google right now for a really, sweeping platform play on the next generation of interacting with computers. So
Got
that's
it.
my hot take.
Got it. Interesting. I like your hot take. It's very good. It's the exact... So the hot take I had, really quickly, that we were just talking about as well, is like, I love that, like, I'm talking to you and, like, I'm holding it to... It's very strange. It got, like, we were, like, really fancy with 2 cameras, and now I'm calling John on my phone. Like, I love the bit of irony. So my take was definitely that... we saw the start of like almost like an Electron-like framework for Mac. Like obviously the Mac App Store is not super thriving, and so now they're building something that lets you build for iOS and easily move to Mac or different form factors in the future. And I think that means a lot.
I think write once and take anywhere is the holy grail, and the web is a good. I was worried about the web when Swift came out because it's just as easy to write a native app with Swift than it is to write a JS app with the web now. And so, in fact, and you have access to this low level phone functions through Swift. So why would you bother writing for the web anymore? So I think you're right. Like,
it's interesting.
There's definitely going to be a high amount of interoperability between the operating systems, and if you want to be able to take it across all the devices, let's face it, Apple does make good devices.
Right, but the only problem is you only build for those. Yeah. At that point, like you exclude 1 billion people, so is that...
Well, I think Apple saw the writing on the wall with Electron. It's like, holy shit, everything's moving to web apps. We're about to lose all of our money.
Right.
So let's do something about it.
Yeah. Anyway.
I think that Microsoft has taken a pretty heavy stance today and acquired GitHub.
Yeah, well, now they own GitHub, so...
That's a huge push down the developer path that Apple doesn't have.
Yeah.
And Apple definitely doesn't have a suite of tools outside of Xcode that really is good.
And it's still not on iPad.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah. That was my favorite part. All right.
No Xcode on iPad.
It's amazing. All right, we're gonna jump back and finish this up, but thank you for like 30-second take. Bye.
No problem. See you later.
I love it.
Okay, so Owen, you and I
we're gonna wrap up in 2
are
minutes.
being haters.
Yeah, we are being haters. Let's take 2 minutes of questions from the thing.
Okay. I was gonna say let's do three positive. Okay,
3 positive things. Okay,
or something like that.
Well, and in the meantime, I want to hear what people loved and hated in the Slack, in the YouTube. So, okay, I'm going to give 2 positive and 2 negative because I can't think of anything.
Great.
I think it's nice to see macOS isn't dead. Positive. Negative, I think it's disingenuous that Apple gets up there and says macOS isn't dead and then continues to sell shitty hardware that's broken and not acknowledge it. Like, I think that kind of sucks, and every developer I know is like frustrated by the fact that they just won't say that it's broken. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just say it's broken.
You're holding it wrong. Yeah, we've got a pattern of this, though.
Yeah, so that's like good, bad on the Mac. I think it's cool they're at least doing something with it. On the other positive side, I want to say, like, on iOS, I think it's cool that they're not doing a lot this year because they need to not do a lot.
Right.
But it's also, on the downside, disingenuous that they say that, well, they don't explicitly say it, but everyone's like, it's the stability year. Apple is 100,000 people. How the fuck can they not ship software? You cannot tell me that this company can't ship software.
The bigger you get, the harder it is, I think.
Microsoft is a big company. Don't come at me.
Yeah. No, you're right.
That's my take. Okay. And then
okay, so I'm going to try and break it down by platform.
30 seconds or less, though.
Okay, Mac. Not much happened. Mojave is like a mediocre name. However, Home Control came.
Yeah, your take was perfect, though. It's sand.
It's just sand. No. Dark mode's not an announcement, but like Home Control kind of is.
Right.
And they're trying to clean up Finder, which they haven't done in a couple of years. So like,
yeah,
that's
okay,
good.
that's fine.
WatchOS, it still should be like I should be able to buy an Apple Watch regardless of what phone I have.
Yes, I agree. I actually really miss my Apple Watch, and I'm not going to buy an iPhone for it.
And
I saw nothing today that would bring me back.
But like, we'll have a hardware event in the fall.
Yeah.
But on the software side, like we got some improvements, which I think are interesting. And then on the phone, you know, I don't know, workflows could be a really interesting like. Oh, it turned out people really wanted that and needed that. And Animoji was, like, legitimately a cool demo.
Memoji. Which I thought was meme emoji at first. I was like, they're going to make meme emojis? I was trying to think it's going to be, like, the troll face guy.
But I think, like, Snap is probably going to get acquired. And they probably should get acquired by Apple.
How did they not... Okay, one take.
Yeah.
Why did they not put it in the camera app? I'm so confused. Continue.
Okay. No, that's fair. Well, because, like, they think AR is, like, I don't know, AR is weird.
John says he likes my watch. It's a Nokia. It's not an Apple Watch. But it lasts 30 days.
What did I miss? Oh, the iPad. Yeah. I love my iPad. I don't think I noticed anything that they released for it. Like, Stocks app. Come on. That's not a good update.
These are great takes.
Okay,
and so somebody says with the eGPU examples, they showed how bad the Mac is. I think so. They highlighted how bad the Mac is, actually. Like, I love that they showed this like Fortnite demo, and I was like, have you tried running this game on a Mac? It doesn't work.
They're like, have you tried attaching an external GPU to make this game work?
Yeah, Frederica says, yay, new App Store, dark mode, and personal memojis. Yep, I agree. I mean, they're great.
Yeah.
Ollie loved the Pride wristbands.
I forgot to talk about that. That was great.
I love all the Apple Watch stuff. I actually, all of that was the most interesting thing to me.
Yeah.
And I can't use it.
Well, and they talked on education again, which they just had that education event. Yeah. So I'm excited that this seems like a renewed focus, which like last time we were like skeptical.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah.
My favorite take in here is Adam says the $10,000 gold watch edition that came out when it launched won't get software updates starting this fall.
Oh shit!
Okay, so there's one last thing. So the performance thing.
iOS 12 is going to be available on devices
every device
that came out in 2013,
which is amazing.
And later,
Android has nothing on this.
That's amazing.
They're fixing it, but they have nothing on this. The ironic thing with all of this is, they were like, "Oh, we're going to make performance a lot better." It's awesome. I think that should have been a big focus. The thing they didn't say is like, you guys were all pissed at us for making your phone slower, and so like, I think. It's funny also because they could just halve the the animation speed. You're like, boom, my phone is so fast. But I think it's awesome. I think it's cool that you can ship. Like for years, we've all been saying like, oh, we don't want these updates. Like Fem's mum will say like, I don't want these updates because it's going to slow my phone down.
Well, and I have to relearn how to use my phone.
And it's like all that stuff. So I don't know. Anyway, I felt like, look, TLDR, I felt like it was 2 hours of a point release. It really makes me wonder how much longer they can do this. Like, it was just crazy. iOS 13, if they would do that again, I don't think anybody would ever watch. Like, it was just like incremental updates that Google would have pushed out in a year and not said anything about, and that's like Google's fault.
Well, that's an interesting point though, is because you told me like, oh, Android has this. I had no idea
that's the
about
thing.
the like workflow thing. So this is an educational event for users.
It's like routines exists. That's the thing that Apple unveiled, the workflows thing.
Yeah.
But Google's not very good at educating. Like, I can literally say to my phone, I'm leaving home, it will text Fem that I'm leaving.
I had no idea.
It will show a map on my phone, and it will put all my home devices off. And, like, that's awesome. But... yeah, well, the problem for them has been they've advertised it on the Google Home side, and now they're getting back to this on Android.
Right.
Like, what we saw this year, I think, was a startup making your phone surface that so they don't need to tell you. Like, you shouldn't actually have to know. You should just do it. Anyway, I think we should wrap up there. We went for ages. I got, like, Chris Johnson saying, RIP my Apple Watch, more eGPU, it gives Apple... Yeah, I am sad they didn't unveil a new MacBook. That's kind of sad.
They're talking about the shelf, so it's
really,
everybody.
Really I like that everybody's been talking about the room the whole time. We're so engaging.
Do interior decor.
Everybody's been sitting here for 3 hours, just like we have. So I think it's time for you all to have a beer, and I think we'll talk about it a little bit more on the show this week.
Yeah,
we'll do in a more nuanced, not hot takey way.
Well, we'll try to.
I wish I could play the theme tune to like. Yeah, Zach. The amount of recordings I have of Zach, John, and myself just like singing.
And Frederica. Yeah, we've all done the like.
It's perfect. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed our cacti and Fem's tax returns, apparently.
Thanks,
come join our Discord. I'd love to chat to you in there. It's fun to, I guess, like, try and unravel it in real time as well.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to start doing it more often. So join the Discord to hear about it more from there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We'll do more live streams.
Bye for now.
Bye. Bye, Biscuits.
Bye, Biscuits. Zach's on point.